Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I wonder if you could kindly take your seats, please, so we can commence this evening. Thank you. Before we start the proceedings tonight, usual guidelines of health and safety on Australia are observed. So if in the event of a fire alarm, please go to the nearest exit and members of staff will be very pleased to assist you. Thank you. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the closing ceremony of the 19th World Rose Convention. The World Federation of Rose Societies has been influential in its aims to inspire and cultivate the public of the infinite charms of the genus Rosa for over 54 years. These goals have been admirably demonstrated by our gracious hosts, the National Rose Society of Australia, over the past week. The weather may have been, dare I say, rather British. Gosh. Oh no, it's going to start to rain. But providing this Britishness, the roses are put on vibrant colours and heavily perfume emitted by the rose and has once again captivated our hearts. But before the final curtain descends upon this spectacular event, this evening we want to pay homage to the rose. In the United States, our American friends have the Oscars. Here in Australia, our Australian friends have the AACTA Awards. And back in London, we have the BAFTA Awards. In similar fashion, the World Federation of Rose Societies salutes special rosarians who have given immense service to the rose by form of various honour awards. Later on, I'll have the privilege and honour to announce the recipients. The world of rose literature will be observed by the presentation of various literacy awards to various authors. Spectacular rose gardens around the globe will be honoured by bestowing them with the prestigious World Federation of Rose Societies Garden Award of Excellence. But before we start everything, I'd like to invite on stage Mr. Gavin Woods, the President of the National Rose Society of Australia. Thank you.
I acknowledge that the land we meet on today is the traditional lands of the Gala people and that we respect their spiritual relationship with their country. I also acknowledge that the Gala people, as the custodians of the Adelaide region, and that their cultural and heritage belief is still as important to the living Gala people today. I also pay respects to the cultural authority of Aboriginal people from other areas of Australia. Thank you.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, the first course will be served. Thank you. Gentlemen, could you please take your seats? Thank you. Thank you. You may be aware that this is being streamed live on the internet. So if I make any mistakes, it'll be recorded in history. But for the benefit of those who are watching on the internet, I do apologise about saying about the weather in Australia, because I would like to come back here and I wouldn't want to be barred from the Australian people. But looking out at the back of the place here today, it is actually sun shining, and I understand the weather is going to be quite hot on Saturday. Unfortunately, I'll be back in the UK, but never mind, it's been a really lovely convention. And I hope you're enjoying the meal this evening, which so far has been absolutely lovely. I'd like to call on the stage Henri Debray, the President of the World Federation, and Mr. Daniel Bullins, who's the Chairman of the awards. Please, thank you. I would like Daniel to announce the awards, the Literacy Awards. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. It's a difficult task, but I will do my best to say that. The first book rewarded is The History of the Rose in Denmark by Torben Tim. Please, is there a person from Denmark to come on stage? Inger. Who is Inger? Inger is coming. Yes. You will be welcome. Another very good book is Historical Roses in the Europa Rosarium of Sangarosen by Ella Brummer and Eilike Wemmer. Come on stage, please. Congratulations. Herzlichen Glückwunsch.
Thank you so much.
Take the prize, the award. Another one, The Handbook of Wild Roses by Yuki Mikanagi. Congratulations. And now I am very happy to name Luxembourg, Land of Roses, by Heidi Howcroft and Marianne Mayerus. Next one, Rose Atlas, World of Roses by Dr. Tommy Cairns and Luis Desamero from the United States. And finally, Rosa, The Story of the Rose by Peter Kukielski and Charles Phillips. Oh, come on again on stage.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to a very important part, and it's the announcement of the Awards of Garden Excellence. So it's back to Daniel. Thank you.
I think you're waiting this one. The International Rose Garden at Adelaide Botanic Garden. Please, come on. Next one, the Rose Garden at Shanghai Shenshan Botanic Garden. Is there anybody here? No China's, no representative of China. Another one, Zweibrücken Rose Garden in Germany. Is Marcus come on stage? Don't go too far. The next one, the East German Rose Garden, Forst, Germany. Next one, Everland Rose Garden in Korea. Mr. Chopi, is it? Mr. Choppy, come on stage.
Well done. Yeah, you had your dream after, my friend. I'm really, really pleased. Well done. Please come to the next slide.
Now we go back to Europe. Roseraie Château de Münzbach, Luxembourg. Mireille, come on stage.
Well done, Roy. Really pleased, Roy. Really, great. Great for Luxembourg to see. Well done. Really pleased. Well done. Well done.
We need to make the opening with the plaque. Oh, take care. Next one, the Rose Garden in the Arboretum of Volksi Potok in Slovenia. Is there a representative of Slovenia? Beatrice.
Well done. Well done. Really pleased, Roy. Really pleased.
And the last one, Rosalund's Rosarium, Jönköping in Sweden.
That was really impressive, God, my friend, which you deserve.
Well done.
Thank you very much. I think you will appreciate they were really richly deserved awards. You can now enjoy your main course, and I'll be announcing the Honours Awards very shortly. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if I can have your attention, please. Thank you. I'd now like to invite Armian Debray, President of the World Federation of Rose Societies, to the stage. Thank you. One of the most important things in my role as Executive Director of the World Federation of Rose Societies is when the Federation recognises personnel who have given unstinting and valuable work in the Rose of Roses, not just for the Federation, but for the Rose generally. And I sit on the Honours Committee, and it's wonderful when people's names are put forward and considered. And we only ever choose the best people for the role recognise the best people for the role that they've given in the World Federation of Rose Societies. So first of all, I'd like to announce the Rose World Awards. And the first recipient this evening is Breda Kopi from Slovenia. Breda Kopi was elected as Vice President and was responsible for member countries in Europe in 2012 in South Africa. She was a professionalist in horticulture and responsible in environmental planning in the City Parks Department in Slovenia. Her knowledge has been very much appreciated, particularly in the world of roses, and she's attended numerous trial grounds around the world, which has been included Monza, Geneva, Barcelona, Baden-Baden, Madrid, Rome and Paris. Breda has also been very, very loyal in attending world and regional conventions, and she was the convener of the 2017 Regional World Convention in Ljubljana, and which I attended, and I must admit it was one of the most outstanding regionals that the Federation has ever experienced. She's given 10 years of dedicated loyalty to the Federation. Unfortunately, Breda isn't here at the convention, but I would like Helga Bichet to come onto the stage to collect the award on her behalf. Thank you. The next recipient for the Rose World Award has been a nomination from the New Zealand Rose Society and has much pleasure in nominating Miss Fran Rawling of Dunedin for a Rose World Award. Fran became involved with heritage roses in 1997 after retiring from teaching the profession. Along with her husband Mike, they created a 5-acre rose garden, Wild Willow. This since has become a mecca for rose lovers from around the world. It is here that Fran hosted and convened the World Federation of Rose Society's 10th International Heritage Rose Conference in 2005. Fran Rawling was a driving force behind the ambitious project of restoring the Dunedin Northern Cemetery. In 2000, as a millennium gift to the city of Dunedin, she began this restoration project, being the only Victorian garden cemetery in the Southern Hemisphere. Under Fran's guidance, the Otto Heritage Rose Trial was formed. Members donate heritage roses, plants, and do the maintenance and the hands-on care of these roses. This is the only beautifies this historic place, but also helps preserve these old roses and educate the public. Fran's gift and ability to bring people together make her an exceptional leader who has a vision for the future and the ability to carry out these ideas to fruition. Her driven passion for conservation of old roses takes these around her, like her garden, to places and given them the ability to achieve the impossible. Fran Rowling is a highly respected and valuable New Zealand Rosarian who is much deserving of the Rose World Award. I don't know if we got Fran here this evening, have we? I haven't seen the lady. Maybe we could ask Doug Grant of the New Zealand Rose Society to receive it on her behalf. Oh, here comes the gentleman now. The honoured Rose Gardens were established in 1930 in the south of Lyon in France by Père Joseph Honard. His son Joseph resumed production during the 50s and boasted research until the middle of the 90s. Jean Charles and Perry have taken up the torch and carried on the family tradition whilst reinforcing the creation of new varieties over the years. Perry Nord is particularly interested in the scientific aspect of the world of roses, and 2007, when Dr. Gerald Malin, former World Federation of Rose Society president, asked him to take over responsibility of the newly formed Breeders' Club, he accepted immediately. Under his leadership, the first meeting of the Breeders' Club was held in Lyon on 15 September 2007. 10 breeders were present, and the main items discussed during the meeting included communication within the WFRS Organisation of International Rose Trials and the protection of varieties taking account of international legislation. Perry Honor thoroughly deserves to receive this Rose World Award for this distinction due to its many activities in the world of modern roses. I'd like to invite Daniel Bullins to come over to accept the award of this gentleman who can't be here this week. Thank you.
And for those who are French speakers, it is Pierre Horard.
Sorry, I do apologize. The next award is the World Federation of Rose Society's Silver Medal. And I must confess, when I found out who this person was, I felt quite emotional, because this person I've known for 7 years, since I've been executive director, and their service has been outstanding. It really has. Rosaria Orgorta was first elected as vice president from South America in South Africa in 2012. For 10 years, her service to the Federation, she attended the regional conventions in Barcelona, Hyderabad, Slovenia, and Calcutta, as well as the Heritage Conference staged in Sandhausen in 2013 and the Regional Heritage in Beijing in 2016. As Vice President, she has also been present at World Conventions in Lyon, France in 2015 and Copenhagen, Denmark in 2018. Naturally, Rosaria, whilst in Europe, has often been invited to participate at numerous international rose trials, frequently as president of the jury. In Uruguay, together with her society, she organised the 5th Regional Conference in South America in 2016, the second in her home country, where 259 participants attended. In South Africa, Rosaria was very active amongst local societies and is often invited to present lectures regarding hands-on rose growing. She is also encouraged by local rose societies to become associate members of the World Federation. Rosaria has demonstrated an immense love of roses and gardening and a constant sense of responsibility as a Vice President for South America. Her good humour and enthusiasm is a joy who all who know her. Rosaria's devoted service to the Rose and the Federation has been truly exceptional. She richly deserves the World Federation Silver Medal. Well done, Rosaria. I'm really pleased.
You need to make a tango. A tango with Derek.
It was really a surprise for me, and I thank you all because this 10 years.
Take your medal.
Yeah, take the medal.
Take
Take
your
a
medal.
photograph. If you want to say a few words, please do.
Yes.
Take photographs in a moment.
Well, I must thank you all because these 10 years I have been the most beautiful in my life because not only the rose in itself, but the people I have met. All of you mean something to me. You know, I'm a widow, I'm alone, and you are my family. So this was a complete surprise for me. I never expected this, and I love you all. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. I love you.
Well done. That's it, I think. That's it. Yeah, that's finished. Yeah, that's it. Lovely. That finishes the honours for the moment. We have got a special award coming up very shortly, but thank you very much. Next part is Convention, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. It was in 2015 that the World Rose Convention held in Lyon, France, that the National Rose Society of Australia made a successful bid to host the World Convention, originally in 2021 in Adelaide, Australia. The organisation of the convention was placed in the hands of the Rose Society of South Australia, which had accumulated a considerable experience in orchestrating international events over the years. During the following World Rose Convention in Copenhagen in 2018, participants were enthusiastically updated by the Society's representative, delivering a comprehensive report of the preliminary work on which had been accomplished to date. Then in 2020, the world was overturned by COVID, and all the previous plans were forcibly put into later to an unknown date. Now in 2022, the World Convention in Adelaide has at last met all the expectations of us all, which we've seen this week. I think you'll all agree, well, it's been an outstanding success. And believe you me, boy, wasn't it worth the wait of 4 years to come here and enjoy this magnificent spectacle put on by our dear friends of Australia, particularly of the South Australian, sorry, it's a time of night, the South Australian Rose Society. I do apologise about that. To present the award, I first would like to call on stage Mrs. Helga Bichet, who is the Liaison Convention Chair for the Federation. Thank you. As you would appreciate, there were numerous people that were involved in raising this, planning this phenomenal event, and to list them all would take. But first of all, I'd like to call on stage the President of the National Rose Society of Australia, Mr. Gary Woods, and also Mr. Kelvin Trimper. Thank you. I'd now like to invite on the stage Armiane Debray, the President of the World Federation of Rose Societies.
No, it's not already my farewell message, sorry. You will have to hear me a little bit longer. I have a special nomination for tonight for someone who has given exemplary and outstanding service to the Rose and the World Federation of Rose Society over her lifetime, where she has demonstrated, you know now that it is a lady, I said she, where she has demonstrated leadership and a love of roses, and became one of the world's most respected rosarian. Well, suspense or not? Suspense? Well, Helga. No, Mama. Helga, yeah, you can come if you want. Yeah. Helga and her Belgian husband, André, bought a 5-acre property in Santa Maria, central Italy in 1973, where she has been gardening with roses ever since. In particular, she has a large number of Chinas and hybrid giganteas, the collection of which are unique. The collections of hybrid sempervirens and mystery roses from Bermuda have taken shape, while Helga's ambition has been to introduce old and historical rose from China, to date almost unknown elsewhere to rose lovers in the Western Hemisphere. This remains a high priority, and she has given many lectures on her love of these roses to audiences throughout the world. Visitors to Helga's garden have been warmly welcomed over many decades. Helga, I need to come. Sorry, I haven't. But I will, I promise. Helga Bruchet contribution to the World Federation has been exemplary, with many great achievements from 1994 to 2022. Her numerous roles and awards have included the following: elected World Federation of Rose Societies Vice President and Chairman of its awards committee in Christchurch, New Zealand, 1994-1997. Convener of the World Federation Regional Conference staged in Italy in May 1996. Elected World Federation President 1997-2000 and awarded the World Federation Gold Medal in 2000. Also in 2000, the first World Federation Triennial Report was published, including the history of the World Federation from 1968 until 2000. And that was a tremendous achievement to make our 50th book anniversary. Appointed chairman of the World Federation Conservation Committee, 1997-2003. During these 9 years as chairman, she established the Specialized Conservation Committee with the scope of constructing a worldwide mosaic of information not only of endangered varieties but also of their location that would constitute an international database. Elected chairman of the World Federation Publications Committee in Vancouver, Canada, 2009-2015. Elected chairman of the World Federation Convention Liaison Committee in Lyon, 2015-2022. It is acknowledged that Helga has devoted thousands of hours of outstanding leadership and service to the World Federation. Member of the permanent jury at the international trials of new rose varieties in Rome for more than 35 years, and also Baden-Bad, Germany, and presided at international jury at rose trials for new varieties throughout Europe over the years. From 2007, Helga was the co-coordinator of the international rose trials at La Tachita for new roses varieties. Trials discontinued, unfortunately. That happens. Served as a consultant to the Europea Rosarium Sangerhausen in Germany regarding its wild rose project, specifically Asiatic species. Demonstrating enthusiasm and expertise, Helga attended as a lecturer at rose conventions in Australia, Bermuda, Chile, China, Italy, England, France, Germany, New Zealand, Switzerland, Uruguay, Canada, Spain, and United States. Author of numerous articles in publications, a contributor to the Encyclopedia of Rose Science, Academic Press London 2003, and a regular columnist for the American Rose Society's magazine from 2010 until 2013. She also contributed to the Italian history and garden art magazine Rosa Nova. Served as a consultant to the International Rose Museum in Beijing, China. This impressive museum was completed and opened in 2016. From 2017 and 2018, Helga assembled the handbook of guidelines for the World Federation members wishing to host Federation conventions and events. In 2019, she translated from German to English the book Historical Roses in the Europäer Rosarium Sangerhausen, which got an award today. Appointed consultant to the new International Rose Trial Unibo, organized by the University of Bologna in Faenza, Italy in 2021, starting in situ, commencing this year in 2022. And well, what a list. What a list. So, I think that there is no doubt that Helga Brochet deserves the award of Emeritus President of the World Federation of Rose Societies, given her lifetime of exemplary and outstanding service. And I am very pleased to be the president in situ for the moment to give this award to Helga.
What an immense, immense, immense honor. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the World Federation for allowing me to learn so much around the world during this long time. Thank you to all those people around the globe who have opened their worlds to me. Thank you to my husband. I wish the World Federation of Rose Societies a long, strong, and above all, happy future. Thank you.
What should we do now?
What is the rest?
So,
Now that's my
yeah.
farewell, no?
Yeah.
That?
So
Yeah.
farewell dress.
Okay.
And, yeah, and you do your farewell dress, Al.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Always things to remember. That's the box.
Well, that's an emotion, part of the closing ceremony, of course. When you deserve an award, it's always something very special. And I would like to congratulate all those who got it tonight. Well, it's not finished. I think I am now a little bit at the end of my term, and I would like to address you my farewell message before giving this chain to somebody else. Well, just a joke, because I saw that Derek, when he addressed her first message, he came with an umbrella. Well, I would like to say to you that when I arrived a few weeks ago, because I'm here since 1 month now, with a great pleasure to be here in Australia, I thought, when I arrived, wow, maybe I must be wrong. Maybe I am not in South Australia, but maybe I reach the South Pole. Wow. But then, what will I do with my sun hat? It has remained in my suitcase for 1 month. So, it was not really very appropriated, and so I swapped it for this very famous knitted balaclava that I think that many of you, the Australian at least, that are here present in this room, you know that you have a very famous explorer whose name is Douglas Mawson. And well, I was really pleased to find this here in Australia, and I swapped my sun hat for this one. So, but that doesn't mean that it was sun in our hearts. And I would like to thank all of you for your attendance to the 19th World Convention in Adelaide. Overseas from so far away is always a challenge, but what a joy when you arrive at the end of the world. No, some of you said the center of the world. Yes, I know, you are the center of the world. Depends how you see the map. But when you arrive here with such a welcome by our Australian Rose friends and hosts to celebrate the Rose again, it's a joy. And many thanks also to the Rose friends who registered online, those who couldn't come, but they registered online, and I think that's a new way, maybe, of having more people for this celebration. We have shared exceptional moments full of excitement and emotion with a superb expo, a new World Favorite Rose Hall of Fame, new Gardens of Excellence and literary awards, and a beautiful convention rose named Australia Beauty. We have tasted, I have at least tasted a lot of fantastic wines. And we have seen kangaroos and koalas. Thanks to the lecturers, we acquired new knowledge on the rose. I would like to thank all the owners and hosts of the beautiful rose gardens who opened their doors for us. I think, and I have not finished after, sorry. I think we should give a standing ovation to the Adelaide Organisation Committee and for all the volunteers who for the past 7 years have worked so hard, giving of their time to make this 19th World Convention such success. Thank you. It's very hard. We have spots very. Maybe when my children will see me back home, they will say, "Oh, you have got a sunburn." Yeah, maybe I will say it was a spot. The 4 last years were for me a great experience. Much more work on my shoulders than expected, but always with a great satisfaction to work with many of you for the Rose and the World Federation. Of course, I learned a lot about roses, but also a lot about different style of life and friendship all around the world. And this is what the World Federation can offer. It has become, as such, as Helga said, my second family, and Rosario the same. I think both 3 of us, we think that we have a very nice second family. Many thanks to all those who very kindly hosted me wherever I traveled since 2018, China, India, South Korea, South Africa, Slovenia, Denmark, Poland, Sweden, and Australia. Living in Brussels is a big advantage, being in the cradle of most of the European international trials, where it is always a pleasure to attend and to see many rose breeders and friends. But what a privilege to experience for the first time the Australian International Rose Trial as well. It has been a pleasure to work with Derek Lawrence, our executive director. I would like to warmly thank him for his team spirit. Derek is a hard worker, and you cannot imagine how dedicated he is to the Federation, and he deserves my entire respect. I would also like to thank all of you who I was entitled to work closely with. Many thanks also for the kind and encouraging messages I received all along my term. All together as a team, because we always work as a team. A president or an executive director, we don't work alone, we work as a team. So all together as a team, sharing passion, loyalty, courage, love, and friendship, we always can overcome any difficulties. I want to warmly thank the new office bearers for their positive reactions and enthusiasm to work in the future for the World Federation. Looking forward to our next events, I wish all the best to Belgium, Sweden, and Japan. Each event has its own specifications, and as we say, comparison is not reason. So let's give the countries who kindly host an event under the auspices of the World Federation all the credit and respect they deserve. Nowadays, hosting an event, wherever it happens in the world, represents great challenges in terms of climate, we have seen this, finance, but also with new geopolitical issues. But again, passion for roses, love and friendship are essential to afford the new world. Now it is the time for me to present our new president. Of course, she is well known in Australia. She is the president of the Rose Society of South Australia since 2020. But she joined the society in 2001, and since then has given service at a far greater level than what you would expect of a member, and her dedicated services are much too long to list tonight. But words like organization, coordination, chair, liaison officer, guest speaker, were part of her dedicated activities. She is also a member of the permanent jury of the National Rose Trial in Adelaide. She acts as the South Australia representative to the National Rose Society of Australia. She attended lots of world and regional conventions, and since 2012, she has served as treasurer of our organization, an office bearer position she occupies with great seriousness and efficiency. She was part of the 2018-2022 Task Force Committee. I would qualify her with additional words such as responsibility and generosity, a discreet intelligence, always available to give advices. She has a beautiful garden with 500 roses, and her passion for roses escalated after attending a garden show 25 years ago, where a display of David Austin roses caught her eye. Her passion for roses and her knowledge of the World Federation rules and guidelines will provide invaluable experience as president of the World Federation. I couldn't be more happy to have such a personality to succeed me, and I wish her all the best for the next term, and I will be proud and happy to assist her as immediate past president as from tonight. So please, Diane, come to the stage, and I will pass on your shoulder my very heavy chain. We'll take my. Well.
Thank you all. I'm honoured to represent our organisation as your new president. It now gives me great pleasure to announce the gold medal. This person is a worthy recipient of the World Federation of Rose Society's highest honour for an individual, a gold medal for outstanding service to the Federation. I think we might do what we did with Helga and announce that the gold medal is awarded to Henrianne Debray.
So, well, does it work? I see, yes. Well, thank you. Well, I accept this honor with great gratitude, of course, even if the honors committee didn't really listen to my recommendation. But with a bit of emotion, of course, I want to first to dedicate this gold medal to my grandfather and to my mother, because they are the ones who traced the road that led me to the roses. Secondly, I want to share this honor with all those who have guided me to continue to serve the rose and perpetuate the legacy received from my family. So thank you very much.
Honorary Anne's citation will be published in the World Rose News. So it has been a wonderful week to welcome delegates to Adelaide, my hometown, to celebrate and share our knowledge and our love of our favourite flower, the rose. As President of the World Federation of Rose Societies, I look forward to working with the Executive and other standing committees, attending conventions and events, participating in international rose trials, and to engage with member countries. Enjoy the remainder of our evening, and I thank you once again for joining us in Adelaide for our celebration of the rose. Thank you.
I'd like to call to the stage the President of the National Rose Society of Australia, Mr. Gavin Woods, and Mr. Kelvin Trimper. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. As my wife reminded me the other day, I think it's been 88 months since Adelaide, Australia was chosen to be the city to host, on behalf of the National Rose Society of Australia, the World Rose Convention. Over that period of time, we have been fortunate to be supported by a fantastic national committee and an even greater, in my view, local committee. Conventions like this do not just happen, particularly when they are tested by COVID, by wars, by airlines that want to put their prices up or not fly at all, and also by some countries that won't let their citizens travel, and also by our own country, which, because we are an island, puts some quite onerous conditions on those that want to visit our country. Despite that, I congratulate each and every one of you for coming to this convention. As we have been reminded this week by many speakers, the rose brings many people together from many countries, from many races, from many religions, old and young, men and women, boys and girls. It is a special flower, and it is worth celebrating. And I think we have done our best this week to celebrate the rose. To put on this convention, as I mentioned, requires a hell of a lot of hard work. And I would like to thank our committee now and ask them to all come up on stage to receive a token of our appreciation, and also our professional Congress organisers, All Occasions Group. We are most grateful for their support. If I were to single out two people for special mention, one would be Jim Kane, who has gone from managing a National Rose Society's bank account with a few $1,000s in it to a multi-$100,000 event. Jim has done an incredible job, with two budgets, one for the convention, one for the Rose and Garden Expo, and a number of other challenges in fundraising and dealing with things like, in our country we call it the GST, a levy on expenditure. So Jim, we really do thank you for your superb contribution. Yes, please. While Jim's coming up, the other person I want to acknowledge is my wife and confidant and manager, Melanie Trimper. Melanie has spent thousands, and I mean thousands, of hours over the past 7 years writing emails, many of them to individuals who are in this room, communication pieces, minutes of meetings, and basically keeping me sane, which is challenging when you have things like COVID. But to Melanie, a fantastic effort, and it'll be good. Now I'll get a wife back, which will be lovely. So, but to all the committee, I ask you all to come up. You know who you are. Please come up and accept a token of our appreciation. And those national members who are here, similarly, please come up and accept a small token of our appreciation. Thank you.
A few more of you here than that, so will you please all come to the stage and make it quick, Kristen. I just want to particularly thank our chairman. Many of you may not know him because he's such a quiet, retiring, unassuming type, and that's Kelvin Trimper. We've talked a lot about 7 years here tonight, but really it's been a lot longer than that. We mounted a bid way before Leon, structured a bid 6 months out, and began to write it 6 months before that. So it's been 8 years, but honestly it seems like 25. Kelvin, it's fair to say this convention would not have happened without him. He has been singularly focused, kept us all on track. There were many times, I think, during COVID where we just thought we would give it all away. But I'm delighted it's been such a success, and a huge part of that success has been Kelvin's commitment. So please thank Kelvin very much. Sue Stallwood, I know you're here, Sue. Come on. And Kerry Bradford, you're here, Kerry. For those who aren't here, Diane and I are sharing the wine between us, so if you're here, please come and get a bottle. Just quickly, I'd ask our conference organiser, Patty, to come to the stage. All occasions have been fabulous and looked after you all, I'm sure. But I'm more than sure they're going to be glad to see the back of us next week. We've given them a pretty tough time.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call members of the Japan Rose Society to come to the stage, please. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, as is the tradition of the World Federation of Rose Societies, when one World Convention finishes, the next one receives the World Federation flag. I know Fukuyama has been planning now for at least 4 years, and today, those of us who were in the lecture hall could see how much work has already gone into preparations for Fukuyama 2025. So I'd now like to request that the President of the National Rose Society of Australia, Mr. Gavin Woods, and Diane Bomberg, President of the South Australian Rose Society, and me, quickly fold up the flag and hand it to the Mayor of Fukuyama.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I could just have your attention for one moment. This now draws the end of a conclusion to what has been a fantastic event. I'm looking forward to going to Japan, but I'm also looking forward to going to Belgium next year and to Sweden. So please come and join us and spread the love of the rose. It's a very challenging world at the moment, and if we follow the rose in our hearts more and give rose to people, it would make the world a far better place. Laura will be performing again till 10:30, so please take to the dance floor, enjoy the rest of the evening. Just a message, the people that are on the post tour, they need to be at the reception at the hotel by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, readiness. And I hope you have a really good time on the post tour. Okay, I wish you a very good night and thank you very much for coming. Thank you.